Hi, I'm Leilani Smith, and welcome to my backyard and to another episode of Leilani Drinks the Brown Stuff. And tonight's episode is brought to you and sponsored by our Mama San Q, Miss Gail Quain. She has sponsored us with our bottle tonight for this episode. Yay! We went to visit her up at Grover Beach and decided to make a little stop at this newish distillery, and it is called Rod and Hammer's SLO Stills, and that is located at the Rock in San Luis Obispo. Lucky for us, they open at around 3 p.m. and we were there a little bit early, so we got to just go ahead and walk on in, and as I did, you could see the amazing, beautifully designed bottles to my left, and then you saw the bit of a distillery, and then the bar, and then to my right were these, it had to have been the American oak barrels that they probably repurposed and put on the wall, which I had to get a picture next to with my bottle. Now, as I was standing in front of the host stand trying to decide rye reserve, bourbon, because we were just going to try to get in and get out, she basically said the magic words of whiskey tasting. You know I want a whiskey tasting. Since no one was there and it was super quiet and it was just the three of us, I was like, yes to this whiskey tasting. And she was like, and if you get this whiskey tasting, we will knock off the whiskey tasting if you decide to get a bottle. I was already gonna get a bottle. So I raced on over to the bar. The bartender, super cool, went ahead and asked me which ones I wanted to taste. And it was the bourbon, the rye, and the rye reserve. I came in ready. I just didn't know which one I wanted. And so he set those in front of me with a little bit of glass of water, and that was for afterwards. Even though I hadn't eaten, I was gonna go ahead and drink all of it if I could. So I tried the bourbon, and I was like, oh, okay, wow, yum, this is nice. Then I tried the rye, and I was like, that's a different kind of profile, which is what I'm looking forward to tonight. I'm hoping that the profile that I tasted that was kind of pronounced is actually what I taste when I open this brand new bottle tonight. And then there was the rye reserve. Now, my two choices were between the rye and the rye reserve. The rye, the regular, was 90 proof, and it was around $40. And their rye reserve, which was 80 proof, was around $60-something. And that just goes to show you, sometimes you can't just base price off of proof. You know, you can't just say the higher proof is better, the higher price is better. Sometimes you just gotta taste the whiskey. So never listen to someone that's just like, only the high proof, which might not be what you might enjoy on your palate. Because sometimes the lower proof, you get this amazing, nice profile that you might not get at the higher proof because the other flavors come in more pronounced. So tonight, we are going to try Rod and Hammer's SLO Stills rye whiskey. And it's a straight rye whiskey. It is 90 proof. This whiskey, which we ended up getting a picture of, is made out of 95% rye grain. I love those numbers, and I can't wait to try it. Now, the two founders, a Cali surfer named Rod Cegielski. Now, I know I'm butchering that name. I could be, I don't know. Maybe I'm saying it right. I should have asked the host while I was there. I did not. I was too busy trying to get some whiskey up into this body. Sorry, Cegielski, for that butchering of the name, but that's what you got tonight. And the other founder was Hamish Marshall. And he's actually an Aussie Jackaroo. And the head distiller there is Paul Quinn. Right around 1988, they went ahead and developed this brewery, and they called it SLO Brews. And from there, around 2012, they ended up distilling and aging their first whiskey from their rye beer mash. So cool. And then from there, they ended up opening SLO Stills in San Luis Obispo. When was it? 2019. So that's fairly new, guys. So their process is what most process of whiskeys are, and they discuss it. It's from milling to mashing to fermentation. That's to get their beer. And from their beer, they go ahead and put it in the stills. And in their stills, that's where they heat it up and get that vapor separated from the alcohol, separated from the the solids and the water, and that makes the vapor. And that vapor that's collected and condensed is what? We drank some a couple episodes ago. I know you guys know this. Buffalo Trace Distillery. We drank some. Now they called it the White Dog, but this is actually White Lightning. So I hope I mentioned that, but even if I didn't, White Dog, White Lightning, you're close. I'll give it to you today. And from there, from that high proofness, they go ahead and barrel that in like the charred New American oak barrels. And from there, that's where they end up getting the cask strength whiskey. Then it is filtered. They occasionally blend it, and then they proof it with purified Pacific Ocean water. You heard me right. They use the ocean. And I like that motion. Let's go ahead and crack this open and get this party started. Oh, plastic. Oh, I think it got some of my nail polish. That's okay. That is sometimes what needs to be done to get victory. Oh, sucky. Yes, there's a slight scent of what I tasted the last time. So I'm hoping I tasted this time. And it had an ever so slight floral scent mixed in with some of that char oakness towards the end, that wood, tobacco, and a little bit of vanilla, and some honey, and some zest. Could be a little lemon zest in this one instead of the orange. But either way, cinnamon, I love it! We do not waste the brown stuff, not even on the corks when we open it. So let's get into this woman's pour. Now, is that a woman's pour? I think it is now. All right, so before I go ahead and drink this, they do say they age their whiskeys anywhere from 6 months to 2 years. It just depends on the barrel and the whiskey. So this could be a 6-month-old whiskey. It could be a 2-year whiskey. If it's delicious, I'm gonna be happy. Now go ahead and take a look at that color. Isn't that nice? Ooh, it kind of has that honey golden brown kind of, with a little bit of redness to it. So I need you guys to just take a look at how cool this bottle is. Ooh, can you see that thing? And they also have it, the R and the H, Rod and Hammers, on the side. And nice big old letters up here, California, Cali love. Let's go ahead and get into this whiskey. But I'm gonna try this now. I have more of an orange zest taste that's coming through, a little bit more pronounced, but way more well balanced than some of the orange zestiness in other whiskeys. There's an overall really nice, smooth mouthfeel with just a little slight burn on the back with some black pepper or something that's spicy that I like. Y'all, this Pacific Ocean is super smooth. I mean, literally, they had Rod, I think that's his name, the Cali surfer, out in the middle of the Pacific Ocean in some of the camera captures that they caught him on. And he literally had rain buckets, just buckets of water, just dipping out of the Pacific Ocean. I don't know if that's legal or if that's okay. They're just taking water out of our Pacific Ocean, but I'm okay if they're going to be making whiskeys like this. You guys, so I didn't get as much of the floral taste the first time that I tried it at the whiskey tasting. So maybe when this bottle opens up for me in a week or so, maybe that flavor might become pronounced. Right now, I'm tasting more of the spice, a nice full mouth feel, a little bit of vanilla, and almost honey, but it's a smooth, wonderful feeling that I want to keep in my mouth. Honestly, guys, I have to give Rod and Hammer's SLO Stills Straight Rye Whiskey 4.5 kisses. All right. 4.5. So the next time you're driving up the coast of California and you just want to do something different, go ahead and forget about those wine tours and get into this whiskey distillery, because Kentucky, Cali's coming for you. Be ready. Cheers.